I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the
For a long time, the public has watched Taehyung walk silently, without a fuss, without a defense. Amidst the unwavering praise and love from fans, a question has been increasingly heard: where was HYBE when Taehyung's name was being dragged into the spotlight, suspected, and even attacked? There was no official statement. No clarification from management. And precisely because of that silence, suspicion began to grow. Why was someone so precious to millions of people left to walk alone? Taehyung isn't just a member of BTS. He's one of the most influential faces of the Korean entertainment industry. However, when baseless speculation arose, there was no voice from the agency to reassure him, affirm his position, or simply dispel the rumors. In the fast-paced and cutthroat entertainment world, the public no longer judges solely on work, but also on behavior. And when the silence persists for too long, many begin to question, is there any sense of responsibility left within the company? Fans, who had been Taehyung's first line of defense, began to express disappointment. They felt that a voice from the company could act as a moral shield. But that voice never came, even when needed. Meanwhile, Taehyung continues to walk with his head held high. He doesn't say much, but his attitude is enough. He keeps performing, keeps smiling, and maintains a good relationship with his fans, even though he may have unspoken wounds in his heart. Several media outlets have begun to highlight this phenomenon. Not as a sensationalist, but as a reflection of how the industry often leaves its artists to fend for themselves when external pressures arise. And Taehyung is a clear example, felt by the public. No one wants drama, not even Taehyung. But this seemingly systematic indifference raises a deeper question. What exactly is an agency's role when one of their artists needs protection? ARMY, BTS's fan community, has shown tremendous support. They've corrected rumors, spread the truth, and protected Taehyung's image as best they can. But they're not official. They shouldn't be the only ones speaking out. In various forums, HYBE's name has come under scrutiny. Not because of its business policies or promotional moves, but because of its absence during a crucial time for an artist who has contributed so much to the company's reputation. Taehyung never asked for special treatment. But like anyone who is slandered or publicly denounced, he deserves defense. Especially from those in control of his management. Some say that HYBE may be maintaining a strategy of silence to avoid escalating the issue. But in today's fast-paced world, silence is often seen as acquiescence. And in Taehyung's case, that silence feels like neglect. Public disappointment didn't come suddenly. It was the accumulation of many events, of many occasions where HYBE's voice was not heard. And when that pattern repeats itself, trust begins to be shaken. On the other hand, Taehyung shows no sign of giving up. He continues to create, continues to appear with a warm smile, and remains a positive influence. But as anyone knows, such pressure can't be shouldered alone. The K-pop industry is never easy. And being a central figure in it means being prepared to face criticism, even when it's unfounded. But an artist shouldn't have to fight alone. That's where the role of an agency becomes crucial. Not everything that happens behind the scenes is public knowledge. But what's visible in public is enough to make it clear that something is amiss. If management stands up for one artist, why not the others? This question isn't meant to incite division, but to raise awareness that loyalty shouldn't be one way. If an artist can give his life for the company, then the company should also stand behind him. The world knows that BTS is more than just a group. They are global icons, the result of the hard work of 7 individuals supporting each other. And when one of them seems to be walking alone, there's a collective responsibility to protect them. Taehyung may not have said anything, but the way he stood calmly demonstrated a great strength that may have stemmed from disappointment. He continued to greet fans, continue producing, and remain appreciative of all the support. HYBE's absence during critical moments like this suggests they're choosing silence as a strategy. But in the case of a public figure like Taehyung, sometimes a single word of support can be a powerful safeguard. Many hope HYBE will reassess its approach, not only in shaping artists' images, but also in protecting them when they are attacked. Because behind every great figure lies a fundamental need for protection and a sense of appreciation. If not from the agency, then where does an artist find security? If the company is only present for commercial purposes, then who will stand up when what is needed is empathy and justice? This question continues to circulate among fans and the wider public. They no longer ask for lengthy clarifications or official press releases. They simply want to know, does an artist as kind and sincere as Taehyung receive the treatment he deserves in his own home? Taehyung has given the world so many beautiful moments, a touching voice, and a calming presence. Now, when he is the target of unfair criticism, he shouldn't have to wait for public pressure for a voice from those who should be protecting him. Amidst all this, what's sad isn't just the agency's silence. But the fact that the public has to ask, has to demand, that someone who has given so much be given the right to be defended. Taehyung has never come forward to complain. But every expression, every step he takes alone, is a silent, resounding message. That even in a world as bright as K-pop, there are figures who are silently hurting. Now, the public is waiting. Not for drama, not for confrontation, but for an acknowledgement that they see, that they care, and that not everything needs to be proven with numbers. Sometimes, standing together is enough. And if HYBE doesn't speak out, history will record those who choose silence when justice is needed. Meanwhile, Taehyung continues, with his head held high, with unwavering sincerity, and with the love that continues to flow from those who believe in him. As the company's silence continues, the discussion among fans is growing. Across various social media platforms, hashtags voicing support for Taehyung continue to emerge. This isn't just fanaticism, but a manifestation of empathy for the injustice they feel is real. Many of them are stating that Taehyung doesn't deserve to go through this difficult time without proper protection. They are demanding clarity, not to start a fight, but to ensure that their artist is not neglected. In a world of publicity, silence can mean a lot. And in this case, HYBE's silence is starting to be seen not as a wise gesture, but as a sign of abdication. Even those who were previously neutral are now beginning to question the company's stance. Taehyung himself has never accused anyone. He continues to appear before the public with the same smile, warm demeanor, and unwavering politeness. But behind his calm gaze, there's a clearly heavy burden. Some ARMY have begun compiling digital documentation of all the moments where Taehyung appears to be receiving unequal treatment. This isn't an attack, but rather a reflection of the need for improvement in how agencies treat their artists. The response from international netizens has been equally strong. Many foreign media outlets have begun to highlight why a public figure like BTS's V can receive such seemingly passive treatment from his own agency. They wonder, where is the management's loyalty? This issue developed not because of a single incident, but because of the accumulation of awkward feelings that have been allowed to persist. When one party repeatedly remains silent, while the other remains consistent in giving, the balance slowly collapses. However, what is surprising is Taehyung's mature attitude. He doesn't stir up drama, doesn't open wounds on camera, and even actively engages with fans. This has earned him even more respect as a person. However, public respect shouldn't replace institutional responsibility. Emotional support is important, but professional support from the agency is a basic necessity that shouldn't be required. When Taehyung finds himself in the spotlight due to slander or assumptions, HYBE has the capacity to address the situation. But their absence reinforces the impression that defending the individual isn't a priority. Ironically, Taehyung demonstrates unwavering loyalty. He continues to attend events, promotes the group and company, and projects a positive image that strengthens the brand. He does all this despite working without clear support. With each passing day, more and more people are seeing this imbalance. When an artist has given so much, even minimal treatment seems like a luxury that's difficult to afford. Yet, a small statement can be a significant form of moral protection. ARMY isn't just a fanbase. They are an organized, educated, and vocal community for justice. So when they speak out like this, it's not because they're irrational, but because they've witnessed too much silence. As the public voice continues to unite, social pressure on HYBE grows stronger. It's not just about Taehyung, but about how large companies should demonstrate a sense of responsibility towards their talents. Now, all eyes are watching. Not just fans, but also the media, the public, and even other industry stakeholders. Because how a company handles a crisis like this will reflect their values and integrity as an institution.
Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my